get some gloves on. Try not to touch this stuff without the gloves. Jim, von Reaper. Alright. Ooh, I might need that. Yep. Let's see. Oh, damn it, I need to get a remote control for this camera. There probably was one with it and I left it out. Or put it somewhere and I don't know. Anyway, as we were saying last night, we were having troubles with the Microscope automatic switcher. And I said I would convert it over to being a serial port USB type situation. So that's what we're going to do. We've got the parts from one of my old USB-C boards, and I'm just going to make an adapter that will take this, which is an I2C compass sensor, and hopefully we can sort of like stick it all together and end up with something that works over serial port. Now, it's going to be a very simple blind transmitting serial port. It's not going to have an on-demand reply query. It is something that I could do later, but for now we're just simply going to have it that it just keeps spitting out the values that we care about. In this case, we actually only really care about the one axis, but I might still produce all three values. It's 6 bytes of data. I might still send them all up on the serial port just so that the software on my end can do whatever it wants. I just realized that the title is wrong. Yep. I wonder if we change it now. Let's see, converting old Microscope OBS scene switcher from I2C to serial. It's probably going to break everything now. Oh well, we'll see how we go. Anyway, so we'll just get this thing built, and then we can worry about the hard part, which is going to be actually the software. As you can tell, it's not automatically switching anymore because I've disconnected it. Damn it. I accidentally threw the crystal off somewhere. Ah, here it is. So yeah, as you can see, it's just one of my old boards. At least the nice thing about the boards is that they are sufficiently generic that I can use them for a great number of things. Which is good because I've got a hell of a lot of them. Junk on my tip. That's way too much flux. It's always way too much flux. So I very much depend on this automatic microscope switcher. I wouldn't like to be a YouTube streamer with electronics repairs without having an automatic switcher. Hey Joe. And to be honest, I've got so many of these CH340s that I may as well use them up. I think the next batch of these that I buy, I'll be getting the 8-pin ones. They're it's a simpler chip, but it's the same internal sort of thing, but it just has less bits and pieces on it, and it also has its own internal oscillator, so I won't need the external crystal anymore. Oh, for God's sake, Paul. That ended up being more difficult than I planned. Just simply because I was trying to be simple. Okay, we're using a tiny 45 here, which again is a colossal overkill. Really, I only need a tiny 13 for this, but I couldn't find anything in my workshop at the moment. We'll clean up all these pads later. Hey, Glavani. I am secretly hoping that I'm going to be able to mount that compass chip directly onto this board somehow. Hey, Gavin Brown. So the ideal outcome for this is that we end up with basically the same functionality that we had before, but it takes out the USB subsystem less frequently. I have a feeling that what might have been happening is there was an issue of contention or something, I don't know, between the I2C Linux subsystem and the USB. I really don't know for sure, but I'm making the change anyway because it's traditionally been a little bit tricky trying to get this to capture the I2C chip. Now the downside of it doing this way is, for one, I'm going to have to it's going to be constantly pounding the serial port blindly. It's going to be another COM port, but let's see. Yeah, so it's not going to be on demand. It's going to be polling, which is always a bit naughty. Yeah, it's basically not going to be as efficient as I probably could make it. Let's see. I just realised I probably should put a regulator on this. At least I think I need it. Or maybe I can run this at 5 volt direct. I'm trying to think. Was this running at 5 volt? So what have we got here? We've got 5 clock ground data. I'm just going to rip the one that I've got on my microscope off and have a look at how I've got that configured. Right, looks like it's seen better days. Assuming this is the same device. Okay, so we've got data, clock, ground, 5. Okay, so it's all running at 5, so we've got 5 clock ground, 5 ground clock data. So we're just going to take those and somehow get them on here. Now, unfortunately for me, what have I got? I got ground 5 clock data. So my ground and my 5 are backwards, unfortunately. That's a nuisance. That's a real nuisance. Otherwise, that would have pretty much been a perfect fit. God damn it. I wonder if I can still mount it. Still sort of mount it like this. And just wire those pins off directly somewhere else. That's a bit of a shame. There always got to be something. If I cut the line, there's only the one line there, I think. No, it goes off to here as well. Damn it. Why does it have to be imperfect? Sorry folks, just taking an extra moment to think about what I'm going to do. Okay, this is actually running 3.3, I think. Yeah, some double-sided tape and bodge wire is probably going to have to be the way I go. Okay, so this is 3.3. Where's 5? 5 is there at the bottom. So I'm going to say that what happens is we have 5 volts come in, it gets regulated to 3.3. And what's the second pin here? Ground, yeah. Okay, so, okay. So I can actually knock this out, feed 3.3 directly into here. I'm only actually making it more complicated for myself. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to just take this entire thing out and bodge it. And we'll also take out this because we'll have our own 3.3. Hey, Rilla. So doing the physical hardware side is going to be the easier part. The software is going to be the one that I'm going to make more mistakes in than anything else. I hate it when you get reluctant ones like that. That's okay, we get them out easy enough. Hey Doug. Doug from Illinois. What the hell? That took way longer than I wanted. Yeah, we still got to take the regulator off. Interesting, it looks like this already has... Yeah, that's already got 10k pull-ups on it. So I'll have to take them off as well because we're going to have our own 4k 7 pull-ups. Not going to have much of the chip left. In about 2 minutes will be micro time. Now this device ready pin, this DRDY, I might use that as a stabilizing pin. Oh, I just remembered too. Actually, it's let's see, it's your miso pin. Yeah, that one there is actually the reset pin for this chip, so we need that. So we're going to have 10K, 4K, 4K. This is clock and data, and that bottom one there we're not really too concerned about. Now the next problem I've just realized is if I want to program this, I actually can't have that there. God damn it, why is it always a pain in the backside to do any of these things? It's always something. just going to clean this up. Looks pretty damn nasty. The way out for me in this situation is to oh, Dedumres, thank you. I just noticed that came through a while ago. The way out for me here is to not use those pin headers and holes, but rather just simply use 4 strands of wire. That's a truly atrocious, ugly, horrible, nasty way of doing it, but it will work, at least until I've certified that the firmware is okay. And once the firmware is okay, then I can sort of like slot it back in. I think this is going to be the orientation that we end up with. I can use that bottom pin as a reinforcement because that was the 5-volt pin. Oh, sorry, wait, no, that was a ground pin. So it'll be like this. But it's okay. No, I can't use that as a ground pin because that ground is connected. So, I know it's 5-volt. Ground. Good God, this is doing my brain in more than usual. Yep, Paul's brain has fried today. Alright. Well, we'll get the rest of this built up. We need a 10 nanofarad. I better go do micro before I forget, okay? So I'll be right back. Hey, Mo. Do you know where micro might be? No? Okay. Look for him. He's in the box. Baba? Hey, baby. Can I give you a shot? You make it difficult for me. You make it difficult? Of course, right. Hey, you can. You don't want to come out of the box? No? No. You gotta have your shot. You do. You gotta have your shot. If you don't have a shot, you won't feel very good tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, you're not gonna let me get in there? You kitty. Hey. You're content in there, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah. Very difficult. You could not have picked a better place to hide from me. No, you really couldn't have. There's just no way I can get an angle on you there. No way. I can't get an angle on him. It's just too difficult for me. If you see him jump out in the next half hour, I'll have
Do you want me to try and coax him out?
to see how he goes. I'll have to redo that because it's got too warm now. Okay. Just the way he is, I can't get my hands in there. You're on that one because that doesn't have the...
Yeah.
Alright, well I can't get to Micro at the moment because he's positioned himself in such a way that I cannot get an angle to give him a shot. At least not without causing him a great deal of distress, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to have to give it half an hour and see if he walks out on his own. Hopefully he does. I need a regulator and a few caps. Hey, Tom Morgan. He's hiding in the cat tree. There is a intermediate section in the cat tree that it's basically just like an oversized shoebox with a hole in it. And he's got himself in there. It's not his usual hideout spot, but he obviously decided tonight it was going to be his hideout spot. We'll get on with this, and hopefully Elita will notify us if Micro decides to step out. Just a pair of 1 microfarads. One microfarad is a bit of an overkill. In fact, 100 nanofarad is probably a better fit, but fortunately the line isn't too noisy. Alright, so that's our 3.3. I'll add another cap here just for. Well, we've got. Oh, yeah, I forgot about. We need a 10, 100, 100. There's a 100, another 100. The system would probably run fine without them, but it's always a good habit to make sure you've got your medium frequency decoupling caps next to your chips. Alright, we need our 3 resistors here. I might just make them all 4.7s. There's no real harm in having a 4.7 on the RSET pull-up line on these AVRs. Resistor. Come on, 4K7, I know you're around here. There you are. Chat just died all of a sudden. It was Tom Morgan, genuinely the last one that spoke. There we go, 3 resistors, that was lucky. Make sure we get all of them orientated correctly here. Don't want to go triggering all the OCDs too much. By doing things like this. That resistor is not sitting down right. I'm just going to use a bit of hot air to make it sit down. I don't think there's much else to be done here. Oh, other than clean up the poor legs on those chips. So wait for it to heat up. Flux is required if you want the job to be done right. Oh, forgot about the 10 microfarad, 10 oh, whatever. Sneeze. 10 nanofarad. Goodness sake, fool. Oh, we use a genuine 402 one. I have not revisited that HP from last night yet. I did receive some help in terms of trying to format a new BIOS binary image, but I haven't got around to dealing with that yet. Yeah, so there's our 10 nanofarad down. Alright, now we can clear off this gnarly flux. Oops. Hi Patrick, hi Phil. Ah, it almost looks factory. Actually, it's probably too good for factory. So now we have the joyous process of flashing that. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to bodge wire this chip in. So let's see. Yeah, so clock data, ground, and 3.3. So it's all over the goddamn place. I wonder if I can. Oops. Is there slightly less pain if I do it this way? Not really. Oh, actually, I just noticed something. Yeah, we do have a lineup. We've got 3.3 data, clock. That's fine. I can reverse those. And then it's only ground I would have to manually do. So I can do those 3 pins. Still, regardless, in the interim, I do have to bodge wire until we have set up everything right. And that would be good, because then I can just mount it like that. That's fine. Okay, in the interim, we're probably just going to bodge it onto these pads here, since they're already configured for it. The larger, it's not, you're talking about that one there. Funnily enough, that is the one that's actually properly soldered with the correct minimal amount of solder. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for the 3. Alright, let the bodge wiring begin. Just trying to pick an appropriate 3.3. Guess that will do. And that's ground. Where is my... I'm looking for my wire wrap wire. Oh, don't know where my wire wrap wire is. That's a pass. Shush. Yeah, I prefer the wire wrap wire because it's single strand, so it doesn't cause any splaying or fraying or anything like that. I don't know where I'll put it, as usual. Hey, babe.
Micro just jumped.
Okay, thanks. So go sort out Micro. Okay. Can you get up on here? Don't you dare go on. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's up with you? Alright, come on, really quick. See, let's just grab onto there, and it's already done. It's already done. You're a good boy. You don't even know that you had your shot. Alright, that's all sorted out. I'm just gonna have myself a caramello bear. Probably shouldn't. Just have to wash my hands down again with metho and dry them off. Otherwise I can't get gloves back on so quickly. In fairness, they're definitely not like what they used to be. I mean, Cadbury actually used to produce chocolate. Now I don't know what it is that they produce. It's certainly not chocolate. My hands are still too wet. It was funny, I think it was about 15 years ago or something like that, that the standards for the definition of chocolate were changed. And I remember at the time Cadbury saying, we're not going to, we're not going to take advantage of that, we're not going to exploit people, we're not going to reduce the quality of our chocolate. And here we are now, and it just, for the most part, tastes like gristly sugar. It's just not chocolate. If I want chocolate, I'll have Lindt or something like that. Anyway, it's very rare for me to eat one of those. I just happen to be walking past and I grab one. I think I have about 2 of those a year, and that's about it. So that's one down for the year. But yeah, predominantly I have dark chocolate and Lindt or some other good brand. Okay. The glove's not sitting properly. Ah, I hate it when that happens. Alright, let's get down to wiring this up. Well, isn't that just typical? I like the lint chili dark, mint dark, and they have their orange dark as well. They're all good. Hard to go wrong with them. Ah, ground is the second one, you idiot. This little piece of solder I'm trying to use is just too small. Time to grab the tweezers. Right. That's some really gnarly quality solder on those pads. Sort of thing I expect out of most products coming out of China, unfortunately. Okay, so that's the two power rails. Now we've got to do the clock and data, and I've got to actually get them right so that when I actually do program it, I'm programming it appropriately as opposed to programming it backwards, and then I put it together and nothing works. Another 2 strands of wire, alsjeblieft. God damn it. 2-foot servo extension leads everywhere. Don't need those. It just feels wrong to use a servo extension lead for this. But I suppose they've been sitting around doing nothing for goodness knows how many years now. Actually, you know what? I've got a piece of wire here. I can just split it in half. Once we have a confirmed operational status, then we will plug it back into the actual headers. The reason why I don't want to get them wrong initially with the orientation is because if I need to reflash it, then that's going to require for me to take the board off again. Need more solder. Hey Mark. Ach, niemand. Wow, that's some seriously cuck soldering. There we go. Alright, so according to the orientation we want, what were we going for? 3.3 out there. So data, let's see. So there's going to be 3.3, and that's going to be data. Now I'm just going to absolutely verify. Okay, so the bottom one is data. Watching myself try to squish that wire into that teeny tiny hole is just driving me insane. So I just solder it, for God's sake. Well, how hard is it for you to tin it before you put it in? Apple marrow, SMC, yeah. Okay, that's one supremely shonky connection, I know it. It's going to have a lot of noise on it. We'll say that it's deliberate so that we can do noise testing. Looking terrible. Excellent. Alright, we're going to plug this in, see what sort of voltages we get. See if we get any kind of flashbang out of it. You're not going to be able to see the voltage because I'm not running anything at the moment. As in, I don't have any of the software set up. Let's see, 3.3. Nothing. Okay, we're off to a bad start. I can smell something burning, I think. No, we've got a short somewhere? Or just no power? That's weird. Let's see if we can bring down the whole system. Yeah, that's very weird. It's going to plug it into a power pack, like an actual USB charger brick. Let's see what we get. The one time I didn't bother putting an LED on, and it decides it's going to give me grief. Crikey. Yeah, there's definitely something yanking this down. What the hell? That really genuinely makes no sense. Okay, continuity mode, go for beep. Let's see. Nothing on that. What? I should have a continuity beep there. That I do. Yeah, definitely got a continuity beep there. Oh, maybe I haven't got... Oh, I think those pads are isolated, that's why. Yeah, maybe I was getting 5 volts and I was just had it on by chance, had it on isolated pads. Idiot. Right, try these for actual ground pads. Oops. There. And now we're measuring ohms in the volts mode. Right, I mean volts and ohms mode. Okay, yeah, 5.19, 3.3. Okay, so we're good. That was all just a great big misunderstanding. So there's no problem at all after all that. Okay, next step we're going to see is, do we get USB serial port? Because this probably would have already been done if I wasn't talking to everybody, but yeah, people like to watch this stuff apparently. Let's see. Schematical. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty sure that's it. Let's try it again. We'll yank it. Yep, where it goes. Plug it back in, and we're back. Alright, so yeah, that's the easy part. Now the real fun part starts. Might have to go to quad view for this one. Yeah, everybody's like, why? Okay, so I need to get my ISP type programmer as opposed to the UPDI programmer. So it's our ISP programmer. That'll have to be plugged in this way. We won't have that plugged in during that process, but we will use the same connector. Okay, so it's found it, so that's good. Pretty much put that away for the moment while we just clear the bench. Untangle a million cables. No. ADXD. Okay, I just realized the reason why this is going to be a little bit complicated is because that let's see, this looks like we're upside down, sorry. Let me just fix that up. Yeah. See, it's got the job data from last night. So anyway, this here is programmed with it as an I2C bridge. So that will basically present itself to Linux as an I2C device, channel, whatever. And so the software that I've written that looks for the compass values, it talks on the I2C bus directly, but we don't need that anymore. We basically are now going to be just listening for serial. So we kind of have to break the program into two. Okay. So we're going to need to make a firmware section. And I am going to need to download my own software. It should be fun. This will be a good test to see. Okay, so what do I need to do? Make do git clone. What? No way you get my password. It's my own software, you fool. Anyway, I need the I2C code. Let's see. Save as. And I need the UART code. Okay. Right. Hey Sudi, yes, I'm redoing the compass sensor. Basically, I'm just sort of like trying to get away from using the I2C interface in Linux. I'm just going to have it so it's straight serial port. Okay, so this here, damn it. Ah, damn it. Why do I not set that setting? Wow, done that 3 years ago plus. Okay, all of this crap basically needs to go. That needs to go. So we just basically want going to be something else I need, but anyway. Don't need that. Don't need any of this. Now this is going to be the firmware that is used to read the values from the chip and then repackage them into some form that will then send up through serial. the next part we've got to worry about is, so we've got the AT Tiny 45 here. Just gotta get the data sheet. Mostly I just want to see what pins that I've got going on here. And yeah, I just need to have a squiz under the microscope. What have we got going on here? Okay, so what did we say? Crap, I can't remember which one was which now. Anyway, it's pins 6 and 7, one way or the other. Tom, this is Ubuntu 2210 now, yeah. Okay, so pin 6 and 7 is PB1 and PB2. Okay. So it's going to be 50-50. I'm probably wrong. Okay, I do have to change these. God damn it. Pain in the ass. This I2C code I've got here is designed for the newer chips with the in and out stuff, but that's okay. I've only got 6 things to change. And the fun thing is these are actually DDR settings, not... Let's see. Let's see. That was just a quick, dirty, easy way of me flipping things around, and I realised I got one slight mistake there. SDA pin, SCL pin. I can appreciate now the new style that they've done things with the AVRs. Why? Why haven't you Can't type. Theoretically, everything else should work. Okay. And the UART pin, the one they were using to send data to the... I've forgotten which one's the goddamn pin for that. Nope, not you. Let's see. I'll know by looking at this board. Well, in theory. Crikey, what a mess. Why didn't someone clean this board? Alright, so it's going to be the third pin back. Third pin back, and that takes us to pin 2 on the AVR. And pin 2 on the AVR is PB2. Hey, warrant stamps. And that is definitely not correct. That's going to be a... What was that? PB2. And that should be all we need for the UART section. Okay, the very first thing we're going to do is see if the UART actually works. So, yep. Right. Idiot. That's why I've got to learn to stop putting these sort of comments, this kind of commenting system using the /star, because when you go to block that section out, it causes all sorts of weirdness. Okay. Now we need a make file. Joy. Trying to think of the last thing that we used that we had a make file on. Just so I can easily copy it across. I suppose the original USB-C meter. What the hell? Oh great, it's going around in loops. Fantastic. And there's no make file there. Well. Do I sleep at night? Yeah. I tend to sleep during the day a bit more. Tiny 48s, we'll use the tiny 48 one. Where the hell's my make files? Where are the C? Where are the? What is going on here? Oh, I know why. Right, that makes a lot more sense. I'm starting to panic there. It was because this is what I hate about some of the modern shells, is that they try to think too much for you. And while they're actually being helpful, it does lead you to think strange things. Anyway. Let's see. Right. We have no objects. I really need to substitute that main for something else. Main should actually be target. Anyway, this is a serious hodgepodge. Will suffice for now. Oh, fantastic. Coding face is always serious. FCPU not defined for util delay. Okay, that's fair enough. That is a justifiable complaint. Except that should actually be a hash define, even though it's already defined elsewhere, but anyway. Return, of course, yes, we never return, which is one of the few times why we don't have a return type of main is not in. Oh, this is one of the. Yeah, you're being hypocritical. If it's never going to return, then it should not bother having a return type. Oh my god, and it's just made me do that. Alright. Yay, fantastic, you're done. Alright, yeah, after all that drama, we will now flash this and we will see if we can at least get some rudimentary serial stuff going. I don't even know what I've programmed this to be, but I'm going to guess it should be 9600 or so, assuming the clock is being set correctly. Okay, make flash. Or is it meant to be burn? Burn it is. Do you want to be a sudo? No. Alright, what are you complaining about? Program operation not supported. What? Check connections and try again. Alright, what have I botched up here, eh? That should be working. Always something. Should have a word with the programmer. Yep. Should do. USB tiny programmer. It doesn't seem to have any problem with that aspect. That seems to go fine and according to schedule. Best I can tell, that's configured correctly. We have internal power. Right, it wasn't getting any power. Again, the LED that I left off. Amazing what power can do. Okay, so now if we plug this in, it should immediately start spewing. Okay, so it's USB 1 that we want. Let's see. 8-bit. What device? -D. And can I set the baud rate? Baud. Nothing. Wow, that sucks. Alright, so we're getting nothing. That's a bad start. Maybe it's not 1000 default. Time to Google again. What is the default clock speed for AT-Tiny 45? It's either 1 megahertz or 8 megahertz. There should be 1 megahertz out of the factory with the by 8 divider. We can actually force that. Let's see. Tiny change. Oh, USB 2 was it? Really? I'll be happy if I'm wrong. No, there's no such thing. So, USB 1. Disconnects. Reconnect. USB 1 it is. And we should have a continuous hello showing up. Someone owes me $5. Just kidding. Just kidding. There is a... I always forget it for some reason, but you can set the clock decoder Savannah libc. So yeah, there's this, and it's moved. Oh, it's on GitHub. Oh, that's going to make it even... It's going to make it impossible to read properly. Documentation. Okay, this is what we want. Library reference. And we're looking for... You know what, I can't even remember what we're looking for. CPU, maybe... CPU or power? CPU functions? Nope, not those. Power. Oh, here we go. Clock prescale set. That's the one I'm after. Okay. Sudi, if you were here last night, you would understand why I did that. And so we want clock division 8. Damn fingers. Flip it all around again. I don't want to set up another cable, I'm sorry. Okay. So we're just going to have to... Still not a Nix. Nothing. What's going on here? Okay. Data direction, PV2. Make sure I've got that right. Yep, so no, yes, no, am I wrong, am I right? Which one did I, wait. I think it might be PV3. Okay, third in. Might have misinterpreted myself. Wait, What? Alright, yeah, third pin in, and then I'll read it from this board. Third pin in. And yeah, that goes to the second pin here, so second pin, it's PB3. Yeah, alright. Stupid. Line 18, what is it for? I don't know. What? You expect me to know what my own code is for? I'll have a look later, but right now first I want to get this working. Okay. Hey! Okay, we've got some noise developing there. Probably less than ideal frequencies. Okay, basically what that means is that my timer is shit. So I've got 100 microseconds here. Now let's see what the actual proper timing for a pulse at 9600 bits per second should be, because it's not 100 microseconds. That's for sure. It's something like 102 microseconds, and that's why we're getting some corrupted bits. Interestingly enough, it works perfectly well on the other things. So maybe I might push it up to 8 megahertz and calculate things a bit better. Calculator. Clear. So we just want 1 divided by 9600. And yeah, it's 104 microseconds. Now I think the reason why I set it at 100 is because I was assuming that the other 4 microseconds would be used up by the code, but the trouble is we're running at 1 megahertz, so therefore the code that we use to pump out the stuff is going to take longer than 4 milliseconds. So I can either drop the microsecond delay, or I can just make it the divider is set to 1, so we have an 8 megahertz clock. And I think we're going to do the 8 megahertz. Tom Morgan, thank you. Phil Oziel. So, I mean, with that, yeah, if you were here yesterday, you'd understand. I was only joking, but I appreciate that you actually ran with the joke. And let's see, what else do I need? Oh yeah, I've got to set the prescaler. So we changed the prescaler down to 1. Right. That should resolve that issue. Hey Greg, morning to you. Honestly, this is turning into a computer Buddha stream where everything just takes forever. 8 hours later, we're barely getting anywhere. Okay. Alright, as you can see, we're not getting corrupted data now. Hey Mohammed, welcome back from last night. And yeah, so I would say what the problem there was is the fact that on the tiny 212s and the 414s, they run at a 3.33 megahertz clock. So that 4 microseconds would be just enough to actually get through that process that I was after, at least per single byte frame. It's not a big problem if it's not perfect, because it will reset or resynchronize at the end of the frame when your stop-start bit comes through. So anyway, but this obviously was pushing it just a little bit too far. We're all good now. Yeah, the joys of program. Hello there, Moroto. Okay, so that's the simple part done. Now we have to start dealing with the I2C. We will leave it that we will send that initial string. At least we know the serial port works. So it seems our HMC 5883 has a O1E ID code. Okay, I2C init. What am I actually trying to do here? So it looks like the first thing I have to do with this particular device is actually set up the register. So I've got register 0, 1 and 2 have to be set to 70A00 respectively. Okay. So what do I want? I want register 0. Oh crap. Wow, it's only been like a week and I've already forgotten how to do my own code. Wow, that's really bad. Hey creature. Wait, what am I doing? Why do I feel like I'm going to get that completely wrong? I think what I'm going to do is actually start with the reading of it. So it looks like I start at register 3 and read 6 bytes. We'll just do that. This is a really bad way of doing this, by the way. What I should actually do is have just a pointer that increments, but anyway. Well, I have commented the actual functions, but oh, that's the wrong one. See, like this. I have commented it here. Read by AC. Yep. Alright. Oops. Six, 20, 25. Alright, thank you. Well, I certainly hope I can get this. See what we can do. Guess I better put a stop there. Well, this is probably going to end in a disaster, but we'll see what happens. Using up half my RAM in that chip too, using this. Okay. Continuing arguments. Ah, of course. Be undeclared. To be unit to be. Oh yeah, because it's called buff. Alright, well, at least that compiled. Compiled, we ship it. That's the rule. Anything that doesn't work according to the customer's expectations is a secret feature that they have to pay more for. Wow, the code really jumped up. Good thing about the 4K version. Obviously the code is definitely not optimized. Yeah. Interesting, it didn't actually even give me the initial one. I'm wondering if that ID is already... I need to look at the data sheet for this chip. What is this? The HMC 5883... Wait. HMC 5883... Oh... What I'm actually looking for is the ID of the chip. Okay, so these are the three registers, like 0, 1 and 2, that we had to try originally configure, and then 3 through to 8, pardon me, we read off consecutively, and that should give us 6 bytes of data. Oh, here we go. 7-bit address is OX1E plus 1 bit. Okay, so yeah, that is not that's the 7-bit address. It's not the shifted 8-bit address, because they're the shifted 8-bit addresses. Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify. Hey, Daniel. Alright, so this here is the base ID, so therefore that is not actually correct. That has to be done this way, because the shift left, I think, has a lower, or is it a higher? Anyway, it's better to do it that. Otherwise I could have ended up doing a 1 or I2C read and then shifting a whole bunch that way. Better to be sure than not. Bombas doesn't extend through to include shift and logical operations. Okay. Now we should at least get the first few hellos in here. Oh no, come on, there we go. Okay, here comes the hellos, and then nothing. That makes me think that it's stalling on waiting for that compass chip to respond, which means I am not communicating with it properly, because it's not getting, it's basically it's getting here and it's stalling, because if it got to this point where it was reading data, even if it was garbage, unless I have a wait on those, I probably do have a wait code on them. God damn it. Ah, of course, I gotta tell it what register I want. Idiot. Right, we need to start at 3. I'm gonna do this the way I've done it before. And you're supposed to write to it, you moron. That's why it wasn't responding. It's like, yeah, it was sitting there going, right, what do you want to write to me? Tell me more. Okay. Okay, that makes it much easier now. Crap, 39. I didn't double record? No, that's good. Wait, what? Oh. That was silly. Very silly indeed. Still no progress. Crap. This is the other fun thing sometimes with I2C devices is you can't always be sure you're reading or dealing with them correctly. It may be that I actually need to do this configuration for it. Okay, here we go. This is what we're after. Okay, so this particular chip, once it's sent as the ID, the register, the value, ID register value, ID register value, as opposed to doing any sort of chaining. Okay. So what's the other one we want? One is A, 2 is empty. Okay, we might get somewhere. Probably not, but we might. Trying to think now, if we're running at 8 megahertz, I gotta be sure my timing. No, we should be okay. Famous last words. I know. See, I'm using the library to make the delays. So like if I say I want a 2 millisecond delay, then the library determines that at compile time how to make that happen. So I shouldn't have to change it because it bases it off the clock speed. Ooh, yeah, that should be fine. Oh, anyway, let's get back into here. Still sweet FA. Alright. Let's put in some F prints. Did we confirm the clock and data pins? Did we? It's only just past midnight. Really should not be putting big strings like in this here. Because it's chew up all the RAM. Yeah, I just can't remember if we confirmed those clock and data pins as correct or whether we were considering it a 50-50. Ah, it doesn't even get to the first one. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go verify that these clock and data pins are actually in the correct orientation as opposed to whatever the hell I bit bashed them into. Okay, so currently we are using clock is that top pin there. So that one there is clock. Okay, which is pin 6. So data will be pin 7. Okay, clock is 6. And that's PB1. No, what the hell did I just do then? Clock is 6, which is PB1. Well, lo and behold, we got it backwards. And data will be PB2. Told you it was 50-50. What is your problem? Can you not exit out? It's always 50-50. Oh no. the juice. Give me the good news. Still nothing. Crap on a cracker. So basically it's stalling on that. I don't believe it would be stalling on the init, because the init is just simply setting up the pins. That hello could have been old data in the buffer, because we killed it before it finished writing before. So a way to prove or disprove that is to actually have something more like this. Is that third pin down on the right attached? They would be, yes. I did reflow them pretty good. It's just probably going to just be a artifact of the visuals there. So anyway, it looks like we're stalling just on waiting for the chip to respond for whatever reason. Why did I use the same freaking color? Anyway, yeah, that's clock. I hope it didn't actually need 5 volts. Because if it needed 5 volts, we're kind of up the creek. Doesn't look like it. Because the 5 volt basically just... Oh, I just realised I'm still got power going into that. The 5 volt just really comes into here. And would have gone into the regulator and 3 volts out here. Although, what's this? Okay, yeah, 3.3, that's ground. Yep, that's ground. Oh, wait a second, where do you go? Ah, okay, I was worried there for a second, but no. Yeah, data comes through, there's a little veer just here. Goes into that chip pin there. And yeah, this is the 3.3 rail snaking around here. Better make sure. Yeah, okay, so that comes in there. Yeah, that's fine. I wonder if sometimes, or not sometimes, but most times these chips should have a register you can read that just simply gives the ID of the chip. So if we can just go back to the... Okay, here we go. So identification registers A, B, and C. We'll just see what they're supposed to contain. And it's supposed to read H43, which makes sense. Yeah, the dumb res, that will eventually get there once I've actually got ones that I feel like are ready to be sent out to people. They're not yet ready. Actually, they're not far off, to be honest. I think this one here is ready to go, but I'm waiting for the standoffs. Once that's done, then I can actually send one. Alright, so what we're going to do, although it's probably not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work for the same reason. We're not even getting that far. Ten, 11, 12. Why doesn't that not let me quit? I hope I'm actually getting the right power pin to it. I'm pretty sure I am, but I'll double check that. Wow, didn't get anything. Wow, we're getting nothing. What's going on there? That doesn't make any sense. So I've got to get another cable. I'm sick of doing it this way. It's fun for the first 100 times, but then after 100 it starts to get annoying. That's interesting. Looks like the data's all corrupted. What the hell? Don't you love it when your code all of a sudden just completely dies? Like it doesn't even make any sort of sense. Where's that, Gavin? It's not that fast. You should see Lewis Rossman type. Lewis Rossman makes all of us look incredibly slow. Of course, the big difference is when you're programming versus general text typing. That's always a big difference of things. Okay. Yeah, the controller's correct. I haven't changed anything. Okay, so we've got the start comes up. Okay, so we know that part works. Maybe I'm butchering something in the I2C init. Wow. Something definitely gets butchered in the I2C init. Hey, Kiki. Lewis does 220, 200 words per minute. It's just absolutely insane to see him do it. Okay, clock and data pen. I'm obviously misreading things. I must be misreading things. I am misreading. No. PB2 and PB1 are the correct pins. Yes, we do have the 4K7s on the pull-ups. Maybe I forgot something down here? No? Oh, that's not a good one. Yeah, that will break a lot of things. Okay, we're still butchered here. But that certainly would have broken a lot of things. Okay, what the hell am I missing here? PV3, yeah, that's right. We know that's good. I'll just try the init up here and see if that first comes through. No, it just comes through with gibberish Joe. Oh, wait. Hmm. Alright, so we got that going. Okay, so we know the init definitely works now. Let's see how far we can get from there. Six. Oh, that's right. Whoops. I should just use hash define to block these out. Damn. So, alright, well, we actually made it slightly further because it actually, we got to this point. So, got through the start wait. But then it didn't read. Let's see if I can make it that it will go through and do the configurations. Ooh, okay. We set the configuration alright. It got through the whole process of setting up the first 3 registers. So like I went through all this section here. So I had no problem there. But when I went to read the... Curious. When I went to actually read the data, it didn't like that. That's not how I would have expected it, to be honest. Thank you, Greg. So it gets to here. I go to write the byte to give me the register I want. Yeah, because we want register 10, which is an ID register. And we want 11 and 12. Should line 41 be 00? Yes, you are quite correct there. I'm actually not sure what that configures it for. Probably broke it. Probably broke it. Thank you. That was a good spotting. Yeah, so register 0. So we want 70AO. That was good spotting. Sounds like I'm going to pay someone $5 now. Brandon. Although we still don't seem to have any further success. Mind you, it could be powered on still, so we give it a chance to power cycle. Nope, still not actually making it through. But that was an important spotting nonetheless. But yeah, so we want register 10. It's not in hex, even though they've got 0 prefix. Uh, 10, 11, 12 should... Yeah, it's weird. Okay, let's just try get one register. Let's clean up this code. Okay. We haven't finished with the Star Wars one, no. Hey, wait, what? Now it's not even doing anything? Seriously? We'll give it a 4-second delay. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's corrupt. It's like, yeah, I don't understand why it's corrupting that. No, we don't have any hardware control or anything like that. Okay, that's all clean. So that's okay, we can go from there. The reason why I send the letter U capital is because it produces a square wave, which lets things get nice and synchronized. Okay, I do not know why this does not work. It's time for the Trailerport boys to fix the water cooler. Guess what? What am I missing here? This, of all of the things, I would have expected this to work and nothing else. Is Graham in here? Oh, right. Oh, okay. Well, it's probably time for me to retire then. Sounds like a good time for me to retire, in all honesty. So we know that setting up the registers works, so that's a good start. But now we need to find out, we should be able to read this section initially without any problem. And we get nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to step away from this for a few moments. Go do some other things. It is late. And deal with it with a clear, fresh mind tomorrow. It's kind of like the other night when I did coding and we were just stuck in a loop and couldn't get anywhere, and then I'd go and sit down for 5 minutes and I got it. So unfortunately, being on YouTube means I'm running on half a brain, and then of course that half of the brain is just a quarter of a brain because I'm responding to comments that sometimes mislead me. But Brandon Thompson, thank you for that little bug that you picked up, so that was good. Alright, I'm out of here. I'll see you all on the Graham Adaman IT stream, maybe. Until then, catch you later. You'll be good. Don't be good.